Coming up on Fishing Australia, I escape in my own backyard. It's been my home now for more than 4 years, and I sometimes wonder why I left it so long to make the move. I'm talking about the Sunshine Coast, just an hour's drive up the road from Brisbane, where the mountains reach down to meet the sea, a nature lover's wonderland, and a fisherman's paradise. And while the likes of Noosa may occasionally steal the sunny coast spotlight, I reckon it's the southern end where the magic really happens. I'm just down the road from my house here at Pelican Waters, and it's a beautiful system. I've caught some 30 species of fish here already. My favourite toy in the background there, my Hobie Pro Angler 14, it's absolutely a fishing weapon. It's got everything you could hope for, but whatever craft you're fishing out of, you still need to make sure that you've got everything to give yourself the best chance. Now, I've got my soft plastic jig head. I'm going to slip on the end here a packet prawn. This is a tweed packet prawn. You can get these in any shop around Australia. And that there, if the fish are tough or you've got the kids with you, that will get bite after bite. Move around the system casting that like you would a lure, and you can't get better. I'll go cast it around and see what happens. The canals around Pelican Waters are home to a variety of species, including bream, flathead and trevally. I'm cruising the upper section above the lock, which is non-tidal and separated from the ocean by a weir. Through the gates, it's an easy run out to the passage. But before we head that way, I've got an inquiry from one of the locals. First cab off the rank. Switch tactics a little bit here. Seen a few people throwing some bread in to feed their fish, and also along here people give their food scraps to the bream, and you've got to match the hatch, and if that means putting on a bit of bread on an unweighted hook, so be it. And it's a dead set easy way to catch fish here. So the prawn on the jig head works great, but always match the suit. And look at that, that's a beautiful bream. He's about the average size for here, 26, 27 centimetres. Caught him up to 45 at least in here. Beautiful fish. It really is bream city in the canal, so it's a start. We'll get him back and keep on cruising along the canal. Perched on the Pumicestone Passage, Caloundra has an enviable seaside lifestyle, and its iconic boardwalk is one of the best I've seen anywhere. It's also perfect for family fishing, and I often bring the kids here for a bit of fun.
Oh, good job. You know how to get him off. Show him to the camera.
Fishing here is easy any time of year, and whether you're a newbie or an experienced angler, the delights of getting a bite of any description are undeniable.
You go, let go of the rod there, gentle. That bigger, Hayley. What do you got? That's a bigger one. Bring him up, bring him up. Whoa, big bream. Swing him here. Oh, yes! Open up the bail arm. Open up the bail arm. Look at that one. Hold him, go on, you grab him. You know what to do. Good job. Grab him. And hold the line too. Hold the line here. And you show him to the camera. That's it. Yep.
can learn all about the various options for fishing and fun here in Caloundra by checking out a new series of videos we've created to help guide you. Just follow this link to discover more. Coming up, a golden beach, and later, Big Mama.
Possibly a heck of a lot bigger.
This end of the Sunshine Coast is simply one of my favourite places to be. And not just because it's part of my backyard. The deep waterways here allow boats of all sizes an easy run to the ocean via the Pumicestone Passage. A popular tourist haven, it's home to resorts and restaurants. Just a few minutes south of Caloundra, Golden Beach is where the calm waters of the passage lap the sandy shore and provide a haven for a little fishing favourite. Golden Beach is about 2.5 kilometres long and stretches from the Caloundra Boardwalk down to the mouth of the Lamro Canal at Pelican Waters.
Today, I'm going to get my feet wet and show you how to fish along the user-friendly and suitably named Golden Beach. It's just beautiful.
You can catch all sorts of species here, but the main targets are whiting, brim and flathead. And you'd be surprised how easy it can be.
Most rods or reels that are designed to hold 2 to 3 kilogram line will do the trick nicely. Your rig is basically your main line coming down to a running sinker rig, around about that big. Then your swivel, then about 70 centimetres between the swivel and the hook. And the most important part, a small, light gauge, size 8 hook. Absolutely essential.
The best baits here include worms, peeled prawns and pippies. But you can collect soldier crabs or pump nippers at low tide, and they work great too. I'm using prawns because you can buy these year round. I pass the hook through a few times and we're away.
There you go. Well, that's just on the keeper mark. Look, they're not big fish. 30, 35, 40 is a big one. 50 centimetres is an absolute cracker, but they are plentiful and they are one of the tastiest fish that swims. The sand whiting, there's a couple of different species, but they're all beautiful and they all live in a beautiful environment. Too easy.
While this technique is mainly for whiting, you'll also catch brim and flatties, along with a few other species. Golden Beach is also home to one of the best places to stay this end of the Sunshine Coast. The Moorings Resort is a newly refurbished luxury complex offering stylish yet affordable waterfront accommodation. With stunning views and a selection of spacious self-contained apartments, it's perfect for singles, couples or families. For more information, just go to the website mooringsbeachresort.com.au. Quaint villages like Mullaney, a hub for the arts and crafts, is on the doorstep of breathtaking scenery. Overlooking the Glasshouse Mountains, Mullaney's Botanic Gardens has 4 kilometres of easy walking paths. If your appetite for adventure is a little more ambitious, there's Condalilla National Park. Just a short drive from Montville, the park is home to a walk that takes you through rainforests and across creeks to the breathtaking views over the Obi Obi Valley. From the lookout, it's a short hike down to the Cascading Falls. For more information on the many parks and walks and all the other things you can do on the Sunshine Coast, check out visitsunshinecoast.com. And you can keep up with all the action, adventure and excitement from our travels by going to the fishingaustralia.tv website. You'll find tips to help you land that dream catch, plus info about our destinations. And make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter.
Another absolutely stunning day here on the Sunshine Coast, and I'm at the mouth of Bells Creek, which feeds into the Pumice-Stone Passage here, about 5 minutes drive or so south of Caloundra. And I've got with me an all-new toy from Hobie. This beauty here packs up into a suitcase-sized bag. You can store it anywhere, take it anywhere, and it's dual purpose. I've just got to pump her up and get her ready. I've got another mate coming along on another craft. We'll get him ready and hit the water. It's an absolutely beautiful day for it.
This Hobie kayak is simply brilliant. It unpacks in seconds and literally takes just a couple of minutes to inflate. The drop stitch hull is super rigid and ensures perfect balance and lightweight performance. And the magical Mirage drive makes powering this craft effortless. To learn more about this awesome inflatable and the entire Hobie range, make sure you check out hobie.com.au/Fishing Australia. It takes just a few minutes to pedal out along the passage and set my sights on my mate Mal, and yet another Hobie innovation, the Eclipse. Hobie has cleverly reinvented the popular paddleboard concept, creating a craft that is powered by the Mirage drive in a way that is easy and, well, transforms the paddle into a pedal.
Dead set easy way to catch a flathead here in the passage, and in a lot of estuary systems is to troll around. In about a metre or two of water, you can see where the drop-off comes down. Prime flathead territory. Got a little lure on the back that goes down about 1.5 metres, so it's near the bottom the whole time. Just cruise around the system enjoying it, and eventually you'll come across a flathead, and of course you've got your hands free so you can hold the rod and jiggle it and work it. You know when you've got weed on it, so a huge advantage. And Mel, how you finding the new Eclipse there, mate?
Well, it's a bit of a challenge, something different to what I'm used to, but yeah, it's good. I can see well ahead and into the water.
Yeah.
Got to do things a little bit differently. It's nice to have the handlebars to lean against and hang on to. So I'll let you know when I've caught another half a dozen.
We patrolled the passage, and Mel's self-proclaimed height advantage on the Eclipse was apparently more than just a brag.
Told you I'd show you how to do it, Paxi. It's easy.
Good stuff, Mel.
Little flatty here, Pax.
There you go.
Ready to scoop him?
Yeah, scoop him up, mate. That's the easy way. Oh, beautiful.
There we go.
A 45, beautiful eating size flathead. And there you go. Trolling a little shallow running lure around the drop-off, and bang. And Mel has probably put the first flathead on the deck of the Eclipse. Well done, mate.
And he's just busted the leader there, Pax, so lucky we got him in.
Yeah, good work. All right, mate, next.
All right, bigger.
Well, I've just got a little fish on here. You might be wondering how I know how deep it is. I'm using the rod just to touch the bottom, and I know that I'm in about 1 metre or 1.2 metres of water. That way my lure is right near the bottom the whole time, which is pretty important with flathead. You don't need to be digging into it, touching it occasionally. And I've just got a little wriggler on here, but that's the technique. If you're out in 2 metres of water and your lures are, you know, 0.5 metre or 1 metre off the bottom, you'll still get them, but flathead live on the bottom. The closer you can get your lure to the bottom, the more flathead you get. He's only a little guy, of course he's going to go back.
Little trevally on here, Rob.
Kicking around like a Trev.
Yeah, he's coming in slowly.
You do get a lot of variety in here. And it's...
You going to grab him?
Yeah, I'll grab him for you, no worries. Yeah.
Thanks, mate.
Look at that. Beautiful little big eye, I think he is. But you pick up a big variety of species trolling through here, and sometimes you get big stuff too, like really big flathead, occasional threadfin salmon. Yeah, you name it, it's in here, jacks. But a lot of fun to be had just by cruising around during the day and picking up a few fish like this along the way. We'll get him back in the water, eh?
Next on Fishing Australia, it's better and bigger
Go on, fella.
on the beach.
You'll probably see him here in a second. Oh, it's an awesome flathead.
I'm at the southern end of Queensland's Sunshine Coast with my mate Mel Gray from Sunstate Hobie. We're fishing the passage just across from Caloundra and trying out a couple of awesome Hobies. Mel's new Eclipse and my new inflatable.
Just can't get over how beautiful it is. There's 50, 60k this Bribie Island here. It runs all the way down to Moreton Bay and then Brisbane, the city of Brisbane. And my home is just 5 minutes up the road here in Pelican Waters, right next to Caloundra. And all we're doing is trawling along. We found some fish, now we've stopped to cast. Just remember, if you're targeting flathead here in Queensland, the minimum size is 40 centimetres, it's got to be bigger than 40. And the maximum size is 75 centimetres. They've got to go back too, because they're the big female breeders. And if you stick to the size limits and the bag limits and the other regulations, beautiful fishery like this, it'll be here for years to come. There we go. Stop and cast, and it's behaving like a flathead, but can't be sure until I see it. Just a standard one here, probably about 35 centimetres. Beautiful little fish, great table fish of course. I'm gonna let him go though. There's plenty bigger here and I've got a lot to see and do. So it's your lucky day, Mr. Tasty Flathead, you're going back.
As the sun drew lower in the sky and that magic hour signalled what I knew would be a good opportunity, we headed for the beach at the northern end of Bribie. And while there are never any guarantees when fishing, I had a pretty good feeling that we'd end this Hobie adventure on a big note.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Positive ID. She's a big flathead. No, don't get in that current, boy. Oh no, that's what I don't want. You might have to get the Hobie, Melvin. We might have to give chase. I've got very light leader on this, 8 pound, and what I don't want to do is give him too much pressure, because if he's got the lure down deep, I'm going to lose him. But this fish is just hugging the bottom. This is a genuine flathead, this one. And this is what it's all about. All right, come on, fella. You'll probably see him here in a second. Oh, it's an awesome flathead. I'm guessing 70 centimetres plus, at least, possibly a heck of a lot bigger. All right. Now, a few golden rules with flathead. Like I said, don't lay into them too much. If they've got that lure down in their mouth and their teeth are on the line, the harder you pull, the more likely the line is to cut when it's taut. So just gentle. And then the other thing you've got to watch for is these big old fish get clever. They'll come to the top and shake their head because they've been hooked before and attempt to throw the lure. So that's what we've got to do. Now, you have a look there in that water there. That's what we've got. If I can land him is another thing. Look at that. That is just magnificent. I'm going to just plane him up there. Here we go. We'll do the flathead walk. You can come up here, fella. Come up here with me. Ah, he doesn't want to come yet. No, he's not done yet. We've had a look at him. I'm happy. As suspected, around about the 70 centimetre mark. Maybe a little bit more. Just a beautiful fish in a beautiful environment. Oh, that's what I've got to watch, the line on his gill rakers. There. Oh no, don't do that to me. Oh, he's off. See that? See that line flicked off his gill rakers there? That's dangerous because they're very sharp. All right, come on, fella. Come on, fella. Oh no, don't do that again. We might have to get the net on him soon, Mel. I'm going to try and plane him up in the shallows if I can. Yeah, here we go. If I can get him this way into the shallows, I'll be happy. Rightio. That's what I want. That's a perfect, sort of. You're still not done yet. Come, fella, let's go up. Let's go for a little walk up here. Rightio. And then, if you will, I might be able to just get him in there. This is great fun. What an environment to catch a flathead. I'm just going to see if she'll roll over for me. She may not. I just want to try and get her in the... There we go. I've got another plan here. Here, fella. Or she, I should say. Woohoo, Mal.
Nice one.
Happy days. And there's quite a few in the system like that. I'm guessing, yeah, just on that sort of 71 centimetre mark. We catch a lot of them this time of year, but over 75 they've got to go back. But even at this big, I do like to let them go. They get a bit tough for my mind. About 45 centimetres is perfect. Always check the rules wherever you fish, and that way there'll be fish like this in years to come. Fantastic, mate. Let's get her off. See here, there's that 8-pound leader and a beautiful little atomic vibe on there. She's got light hooks on it. And this is Mama Flathead of Pelican Waters, Caloundra. Let's do the flathead walk. And back you go, over the drop-off. And the sunset to a beautiful day. Woo!